All right, guys, let's do a little review of 7.9 before we move on to 7.10. All right, adding three mixed numbers together. The basic idea is add the two easiest ones first. So when you look at 10 and 1/8 plus 3 and 5/8 plus 2 and 7/8, some of you kind of instinctively or maybe from previous lessons or knowledge thought to add the parentheses first. That is technically correct. When you see parentheses, that is what you're supposed to do first. But because these are all three numbers are being added together, you can choose to add them in any order you want. That was the idea of yesterday telling you the associative and the commutative properties, is that when it's strictly addition, you can add them in any order you want. You'll get the same answer. So the book is recommending you add them in the easiest order. So you look at this, it's almost like fitting together the pieces of a puzzle. Which two numbers fit together easily? Which two numbers add together easily? If you take a look, well, 10 and 1/8 and 2 and 7/8, right? Because 1/8 plus 7/8 is just going to equal 1. It's going to give you a whole. So 10 and 1/8 plus 2 and 7/8 gives you 13. You just went from being a mixed number to just a whole number. You kind of simplified your work. So now we've got 13, and then we add that third number, which was left over, 3 and 5/8. So 13 plus 3 and 5/8 is 16 and 5/8. Like I said, all the book is telling you to do is you can add these in any order you want. So choose the easy ones first. This one, I'm going to add, well, let's look at the equation, is 8 and 1/5 plus 3 and 2/5 plus 5 and 4/5. Which two numbers are going to add together well? Well, those fractions 1/5 and 4/5 added together are going to equal 1 whole. So I'm going to add those two together first. Add a parenthesis in there. 8 and 1/5 plus 5 and 4/5 equals 14, right? 8 plus 5 is 13. 1/5 plus 4/5 equals 1. Together, that equals 14. 14 plus 3 and 2/5 equals 17 and 2/5. Sorry for the smudge marks. My board is getting worse by the day. All right, number 4. 6 and 3/4 plus 4 and 2/4 plus 5 and 1/4. Okay, which ones fit together like a puzzle? Which ones add together quite easily? That 3/4 and that 1/4. If I can get those two together, then I'm going to have a whole number on my hands. I'm going to make it much easier. So 6 and 3/4 plus 5 and 1/4 equals 12, right? So now I can just add that one leftover number, which is 4 and 2/4. 12 plus 4 and 2/4, 16 and 2/4, right? That was number 4. The correct answer is 16 and 2/4. Number 5, 6 and 3/6 plus 10 and 4/6 plus 9 and 2/6. Okay, which ones are going to add together easily to give me just a whole number? Let's see. I kind of skipped a step because really the book wants you to do these mentally. They're saying that this way, using the associative property is so convenient that you can actually turn it into mental math. Which, if you look at 6 and 3/6 plus 9 and 2/6, no, excuse me. If you look at 10 and 4/6 plus 9 and 2/6, that equals 20, right? 9 plus 10 is 19. 4/6 plus 2/6 is 1. 19 plus 1 equals 20. So now all you have to do is add 20 to the leftover mixed number. 6 and 3/6 plus 20, 26 and 3/6. Okay. One last one. All right, 6 and 2/5 plus 1 and 4/5 plus 3 and 1/5. Looking at this, the ones that I'm going to want to add together, 1 and 4/5 and 3 and 1/5, those add together really nicely, right? Equals 5. Okay. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4/5 plus 1/5 is a whole, or just 1. So 4 plus 1 is 5. Done, taken care of. I'm going to just add that last mixed number in now. 6 and 2/5 plus 5 is 11 and 2/5. So I'll say it one last time. You're adding together three mixed numbers. Add the two that basically easily turn into a whole number. Add the two that fit together that give you a nice whole number and not another mixed number. Then add that last mixed number on. Makes it super easy. You can do it mentally, right? All right, cool. 7.10 is essentially review, but it's all story problems. So they're asking you to take the previous lessons and apply them to answering some story problems. In the past, our discussion on story problems, we've always talked about how you need to take notes, you need to organize, and you need to determine what the question is. What are they ultimately asking? The first practice problem in the 7-10, kind of those opening lessons on the first page, they ask this question of basically this girl is buying walnuts, and they put the walnuts into bags that are 3/4 of a pound. They're 3/4 of a pound, 3/4 of a pound. They want to know how many of these bags she will have to buy to fill up a full, how many she'll have to buy to fill up a full 1 pound bag without any leftovers. So basically, how many of these 3/4 bags will she need to buy before she can put them all in 1 pound bags without any leftovers? Okay. So let's look at it. There's a 3/4 bag. It's represented as a circle in your book. I would represent it as a bag, but that's okay. 3/4. And then she buys a second bag, 3/4. How much does she have right now? She certainly has more than a bag, right? She has 6/4. She has 6/4 of a bag, which really, if we rename this, we take it from this fraction that's greater than 1 and change it to a mixed number. She has, I'll write it up above it. Right now, she has a bag and a half of walnuts, right? 6/4 is a bag and a half, or another way of writing it. Let's see, when I erase it gets smudgy, but another way of writing it would be 1 2/4. She's got a bag and a half. But it said that she's got to fill up the bags and not have any leftovers. Right now, she's got a half left over. So let's keep adding. Let's add another 3/4 bag of walnuts. She's now up to 9/4 of a bag. So she's 9/4. Let me try to fit it in here. 9/4, right? That's 2 bags. 2 bags and a quarter. 2 1/4 bags. She can't have any leftovers. She's got to keep adding. Let's add one more. She adds to her 9/4. She adds one more 3/4 bag, and she is now up to 12/4. She's up to 12/4, which, if we, let's check and see how many bags that would be. How many times does 4 go into 12? Goes in 3 times, right? So the answer to the question asks how many bags, how many 1 pound bags would she have to fill up before she had any leftovers, or before all her leftovers were bagged up sufficiently? The answer is 3 bags. She had 3/4 of a bag plus 3/4 of a bag equals 6/4, plus 3/4 of a bag, 9/4, plus 3/4 of a bag, 12/4, which means that she would have to buy four bags of walnuts to fill up the 3 pound, or excuse me, to fill up 3 of the 1 pound bags. Okay, it's probably a little bit complicated coming through me in the video, but the book puts together notes. But this is just an example of the type of problem that you're going to have to do. Just to give you an example of another one, the other one says that basically at the end of a dinner, there are these quiches, and a quiche is like a kind of like an egg pie. And these quiches, they've got several plates, and they have two 1/6 pieces left in each pie tin. So basically there's 2/6 of each pie or quiche left. And the question asks, basically how many of these pies are they going to have to add together before they get 2 whole? They're going to take the leftovers and put them back in, and how many how many of these leftover plates will they have to combine before they get 2 whole quiches again? So let's just add some fractions. All right, there's 1 pie, 1 leftover quiche, 2/6, plus another leftover quiche. Now we're at what, 4/6? Okay, so we don't even have a full quiche yet. Let's keep adding. Let's add another 2/6, another 2 pieces left. Now we're at 6/6, and we've got basically one pie filled. 6/6, right? Would look something like like that, right? 6 over 6. So after combining 1, 2, 3 plates, we now have 6, 6. We combine 3 plates to get 1 full quiche again. So if we're trying to get 2 full quiches, right, we're gonna have to combine 3 more. So 2, 6 plus 2, 6 plus 2, 6. We went from 6, 6 now to 12, 6. You can see that 12, 6 would be the equivalent of 2 full quiches, 2 full pies. Okay, so these are the type of problems that 7.10 asks you. Simple stuff like adding fractions, you've done before, you know how to do it. You just have to take your time, organize your thoughts, take some notes on the question, determine what the question is really ultimately asking, and make sure you answer it thoroughly. Let's go ahead and plan on at the Zoom meeting, doing a little review of 7.9 and 7.10. So bring your book, and good luck on this. Do your best, and we'll see you at 1.